The Eagle.
614 at the Eagle. This is Brad Baxter.
You're listening to Howard Stern.
Okay, let's not panic. We're all adults.
Yeah, Devil Man. Yeah, Devil Man. That's my boy, Rob Zombie. I got to tell you about, I was in California. Me and Rob were poolside over at the Four Seasons Hotel for about 2.5 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Rob hasn't been out in the sun in a long time.
I was going to say, that must have been pretty scary.
Yeah, I felt like I had a kindred spirit at the pool. I was feeling kind of naked and alone at the pool until Rob got there.
The two of you.
Yeah, we looked pretty freaky with our hair flowing in the wind. Yeah, it was cool. Come on, Devil Man. I love this freaking guy. I love him.
So you two were bonding?
Bonding. We're doing a song together. We're getting in the studio next week.
No, he's now in the studio all the time.
Yeah, I'm now a full recording artist. Rob and I are getting together in about a week.
What are you doing did you two collaborate on a song or something while you're sitting in the pool?
Yeah, Rob and I solved all the problems of the world. Sitting there by a pool for about 2.5 hours, and we put down everybody and how everybody sucks and how great we are.
God.
It was definitely...
Must have been a great conversation.
It was exhausting. I had to go back and take a nap.
Your head got too big.
Yeah. It's like, whoa, my hero, Rob. And I'm Rob's hero, so it works out really good. We both, have mutual admiration.
Usually, your hero's a little older than you, Howard.
I know. I have younger heroes. Rob's the coolest, though, and Rob is the man. So I'm definitely psyched about getting in the studio with him and recording.
He didn't have a stupid hat on at the pool, did he?
No. He's doing a new thing with his hair, so his hair is now whipping in the wind, and mine was whipping in the wind. And we were both on chaise lounges.
Neither one of you could get in the pool for fear that you'd clog the drain.
Yeah. Oh, no, they wouldn't let us in the pool. That was too cold to go in the pool. It was like a hot day, but not hot enough for me.
Not hot enough for the pool. Huh?
I would have rather been in India, actually. If you want to know the truth.
No, you wouldn't. There are no pools in India.
So, you know what's funny? Everybody I told that you were going to India for the vacation.
Yes.
I got plenty to tell you about my vacation, but this is funny. Everyone would say... where's Rob? You know how they always say, where's Robin? And I go, oh, Robin is going to India. And they'd go, everyone would say the same thing. Why? And I said, well, I don't really know why, but Robin usually gets talked into stuff.
That's right.
Like somebody had a good idea,
you
and
know
Robin...
what this reminded me of?
Yeah.
Going into the Air Force.
Right.
That's how bad it was.
So I said, my attitude was, I said, I got to tell you the truth. Probably the last place next to Israel that I would want to go to would be India. That would be a toss-up. Someone said, look, you have to go somewhere on vacation. It's either Israel or India.
Vacation shouldn't be in it.
Right. Yeah. I said, well, now, if you're forcing me to go, and I got to go to either Israel or India, I'd probably go to India. I think Israel might be the last place I'd want to go.
I don't know, Howard.
Wall-to-wall Jews and Arabs surrounding you. I mean,
it might be better in Israel.
I'd rather go to Kathy Lee's Christmas party.
It might be better in Israel.
Really? So everyone would say to me, well, why is Robin going to India? And I'd say, well, I'm pretty sure she must have got talked into it, and whoever talked her into it is in deep crap right now. And
if I could only have gotten to them.
I said, and then someone said to me, my mother's dream is to go to India.
Right.
And
God.
And I would send her, but she won't go without my father. And my father goes, I'm not going.
She would never survive.
Israel is India with Jews, so I'm not sure which is. I think Israel might be worse than mine, but I don't know. So I'd say to people, I think Robin's on a spiritual journey. I would try to come up with something.
Right.
That would at least,
like I haven't lost my mind.
Yeah, right. Because to me, the other reason is she's stupid, and I'm not going to say that about you. You know what I mean?
I am a little naive about things.
Right. So I said she's going to be wearing a sari and she's doing the whole thing. At least she told me that. I don't know if she was for real.
Oh my God.
So what happened? You got off the plane. How long did you last?
I couldn't get out as fast as I wanted to.
Really? When did you know it was a mistake?
Quite frankly, Howard, I got off the plane. It was about 10 minutes off the plane. And in 10 minutes in the airport, I knew that I was in trouble.
Now, I think they call it a sorry because when you get to India, you're sorry you're there. Yeah, right. So you get on.
That's not a dress. That's your attitude.
Did you know on the plane? Like, was the plane crowd? Like I pictured.
No. I was on a British Airways plane. First of all, let me just say.
that
British Airways has everyone else beat.
Let me throw
They're first class. is better than any other first class. I'm sorry.
Excuse me. Let me throw out a shout to some of my peeps at American Airlines.
Oh, no. No. It's British Airways. That's the airline.
Yeah, speak Ebonics, please. Let me say something to my peeps out there. Let me say something to my peeps. That
I'll tell you about your peeps.
All right. So you went on British Air.
Let me tell you about. I mean, their sleeper seat. You can completely recline.
Really?
In the plane.
Does anyone jump on top of you?
You are in your own cabin. You don't even have a seatmate.
Really?
You are in your own world. It's like you have your own plane.
Yeah, I was watching a comedian on Conan O'Brien last night because to prove that I was up all night.
Yes.
And the guy was pretty funny. He said, people are amazing. You hear them all the time. They start complaining about airplanes. He goes, they go, oh man, I hate the movie. He goes, would someone remind people the miracle of flight?
Amen.
You're in the air flying. He says, people are complaining. They go,
that's right.
I don't like the stewardess and the meal sucks. He goes, excuse me, you're in the air flying.
That's right. You're doing in a day what people used to take 3 years to do.
Even birds don't get to watch a movie while they're flying.
Right. And on British Air, you've got 7 channels of movies. Yeah. You can ask for your own individual videotape.
But you'll still get a peckerhead that'll go, the soup is goddamn cold.
They give you pajamas. I mean, they take care of you so well.
Yeah. So anyway, you were saying.
First of all, I flew to London on the Concorde.
Yeah.
Wow. So I got to London in 3 hours.
And that was fun. Yeah.
The Concorde's okay.
Right.
I'm not a great fan of the Concorde. It's just fast.
Yeah.
It's loud. It's small.
Sounds like Jackie.
Comfortable.
It's loud, it's small, and uncomfortable. Hey, that's me.
It's irritating.
Yeah. Hey. By the way, my New Year's resolution, more Jackie impressions on the show.
The thing about the Concorde is it's fast.
Yeah.
You get on a plane at, whatever time in New York, and in 3 hours, you're in London.
All right, forget about your airplane shtick. Let's go right to India.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Right away, I know I'm in trouble because by the time when I get on the British Airways flight that's going to take me to India, we're all, lollygagging around. We're in our own individual cabins.
Who'd you go with, a friend?
No, I was meeting friends there. So
in
I'm
India?
Traveling alone.
Right. Are these TM friends?
Well, they're meditator friends. They don't necessarily do TM.
Right.
But anyway.
Who's it, that woman who rubs your feet?
No.
Right.
She's a TMer.
Yeah, she wouldn't go to India.
She's not stupid enough.
She's a princess. Trust me. The fact that she has to rub feet is amazing.
But anyway, what was I going to tell you? Okay. So we're on the plane, and all of a sudden, when the British have a mishap, it never sounds as bad as an American mishap.
Right, because they do in the accent.
Yeah. So the pilot comes on and he says, for those of you on the right side of the plane, you might have noticed that loud boom. That boom was engine number 4.
Oh, wow. Did you think you were going down?
And we hadn't even left the ground.
Oh.
And the plane was blowing up. So they took us off the plane. Because they couldn't fix it in time. There's a curfew of when you can fly out of Heathrow Airport.
Yeah.
The Queen cannot be disturbed after 11:37.
Really?
Yes, because I guess Buckingham Palace is on the flight path.
So what'd you have to do? Stay over?
We had to go to a hotel and stay over.
Well, lucky you.
That was please.
You didn't go to India.
The
next stop was India. I wouldn't complain, but you were anxious to get there.
I was supposed to have a connecting flight. See, this is where all the problems started.
Oh, I see.
So anyway, we have to stay overnight at this hotel, and then they don't fly out again until 5 o'clock the next evening.
Right.
So I rushed to London in 3 hours.
So you could stay there all day.
Airport for 2 days.
Yeah, that's pretty wacky. That is pretty wacky, You spend all that money on the Concorde? What's it cost, like $5,000 for the Concorde?
I don't even know.
Right. It's ridiculous.
But
it's ridiculous that you don't even know. That's what's ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I didn't actually plan to fly the Concorde. Right. They must have had some empty seats. They upgraded.
Yeah, that's great.
So anyway, there I am sitting in London. Then the next day when I'm about to fly off to India, I should have known that it was going to be a bad deal because when I stretched that morning, I got this crook in my neck. Crook, whatever.
Yeah.
It was so bad I thought I was paralyzed.
Wow. But wait a second.
I shouldn't have gotten on the plane.
Talk to me about India. So you get
off the plane in India. After you leave British Airways, it's like a no man's land.
Yeah. It's every man for himself.
Leaving civilization.
Why did you go to India? I mean, we only get a big vacation like this maybe once, twice a year.
I'm standing there in line.
Yeah.
There's a guy with a towel wrapped around his head.
It's every guy who drives a cab here in New York.
Oh, my.
Why would you go alone?
You know what?
Yeah.
Driving a cab in New York is a luxury to them.
Right.
This
That's why they
must
love
be
it.
like being at the Ritz.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, their cars are like lawnmowers.
But why do you think all the smart people in India become doctors and train here, and then they never go back to their own people?
It was amazing.
Right.
They always come in twos, the Indian people, when they come at you. Because
For money,
one
yeah.
guy learned to drive the car.
Yeah.
The other guy learned English.
Really?
So they always come in twos because they have to work together. And
did you know at this point you wanted to leave?
oh, absolutely.
At the airport?
At the airport, when I was trying to get through immigration, I said, this is going to be tough. Thank God I don't have to stay here long by myself.
Yeah, why wouldn't you go to a nice island and, like, relax?
Hold it.
Yeah.
So I finally make it through immigration, and then that was like being dropped off a cliff.
Right.
Because now I'm like, I'm supposed to take a domestic flight to another place. And they said, oh, well, you have to go get a cab and go to the domestic terminal.
Oh,
so,
no.
Like, the airports aren't even in the same
Oh,
place.
man.
So now I go out there and, like, 1 million people converge on you because they smell American money.
Yeah, and good impression of an Indian, by the way. Oh, you want to go to a connection, though. That's a hard one.
Domestic flight.
Yeah. Getting people, and I'm sure everyone recognized you and was very helpful.
It's a big difference when nobody knows who you are.
Yeah, you're just another person.
So anyway, now you got two guys taking you to this domestic terminal. That you get to the domestic terminal, and they told me the worst news of all.
Which is?
I wasn't even booked on this flight.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell you Tom was booked on the flight.
No, I was waitlisted.
Oh,
and they
man.
couldn't guarantee me that they could get me out.
So did you turn around and leave then?
There's no way to leave.
Oh, once you're in India, they don't let you out.
That's right. And there was only one flight a day to this place I needed to go. Then I said to them, well,
I would have killed myself.
Can you drive there? They said, oh, that would take 3 or 4 days.
No problem. At least you're in a nice car. But they would have driven you.
There's no such a thing as a nice car.
But they would have driven you.
3 or 4 days in one of these lawnmower rat traps that are leaking fumes. Or you could get on the train for 2 days.
Oh, my God.
And I said, well, that's outrageous. I'm not going to be on a train for 2 days.
Did you use a travel agent to book all this?
Well, the problem was that these friends
Had booked it.
took care of that part of the trip.
Yeah, great.
Where were they?
They were at the place I was trying to get to. And so then I'm like, it's 8 o'clock in the morning.
There's only one thing wrong with this story.
What?
Where were the e-cameras? I don't understand.
The plane doesn't leave until 5 o'clock that night, and this terminal looks like a hospital.
You're right. It's disease, and people probably live there.
I don't even know why, but there are like 10 million people standing outside of the airport.
Because there's nowhere to go. You know what it's like? You ever see that Star Trek episode on the planet where there was no room to sleep?
Uh-huh.
And Spock and Shatner and everyone were inside a spaceship, and outside the spaceship were billions of people. That's India.
That's what the airport is like. They have to check your ticket to let you in the door.
God damn.
And you have to walk through about 100 people to get to that guy to show your ticket. These other people don't even have tickets. They're just standing there.
Did you know that Indians are like horses? They sleep standing up. Do you know that they don't even lay down to sleep?
Oh, it gets worse because once you leave the airport, you know, the airport then becomes civilization.
Right. Yeah, like you start to think that the airport is a happening place.
Wait, I thought the airport was bad until I saw the rest of
So you saw the street, yeah.
So anyway, I said, all right, now I've got all this time between the time the plane takes off and I can find out whether I can get on it.
Uh-huh.
So one of these little cab drivers says, you want a hotel? So I'm like, okay, what? You know, they take me to this little airport, hotel near the airport.
I'm going to throw up.
It had a fan in the ceiling.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it looked like Casablanca.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah.
The mattress was 2 inches thick.
Where's the charm in all this? You know what I mean?
They're screaming and carrying your bag, dragging this huge suitcase. Suitcase was bigger than the people. They're dragging the suitcase upstairs, and everybody wants your rupees.
Right.
Because you have to change money, of course.
Right.
So now you got rupees. And I don't even know what a rupee is.
God bless America. I'll never leave this country.
I think I changed $200. They gave me 8 million rupees.
Imagine living there. Imagine seriously being trapped in that country and your whole life. Like how your whole life you have to like it's your life. You only get one.
That's right.
Although they believe they're coming back as a cow or something. No wonder they believe that. They'd rather be a cow.
I'm telling you,
stuck there.
the cows get better treatment than people.
Really? Oh.
It was just amazing. So anyway, now I'm in this little hotel room where there's this banging. I don't know what it was, but there was this clang, 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 clang the whole time I was there.
It's probably some Maharaja doing his girlfriend.
I got up to look out the window.
Yeah.
And there were cows roaming around in the street anywhere they wanted.
Wow.
And, you know, people were like, they had to go around the cow. If the cow decided to stop, they had to go around the cow.
How nutty is that?
Cows have free reign.
You know, it's really nutty. Like the whole, I'm picturing this whole country. The whole country's a complete mess, but the cow is sacred. And, like, there's no room for people. It's just cows.
The cows go anywhere they want. They do anything they want.
The sea parts for them, right?
Yeah. I saw one, you know, like, must have gotten hit by a car. I'm sure the guy kept going.
Right.
Because
he would have been lynched.
You must be killed if you kill a cow.
Yeah.
Because the cows are just everywhere, and they do whatever they want.
And they're all starving. They should be eating the cows, and then everything would be...
It seemed to me that nobody had a home, number one, that nobody had a home.
Right.
Everybody was walking around with, like, huge blankets.
Yeah.
Over them, so that they could flop anywhere at any time.
And isn't it hot and smelly and disgusting?
It smells different.
Yeah.
And it was arid, let's say.
Yeah.
So anyway, now you see all these people with these blankets walking around.
Yeah.
And the cows are moving around back and forth. They have.
Anybody want to take bets on this and how long she ends up staying in India? I say she's out. I say she didn't even get to that other destination.
Cars that sound like lawnmowers, Howard.
Right.
You know those old lawnmowers where you pull and the fumes leak out. So now you're in a car that sounds like that.
Yeah.
To get to wherever you're going. You're in this little hotel room with a 2-inch thick mattress. And then finally I go back to the airport, and they tell me my plane is delayed.
Oh.
So now I'm sitting, there's not even a chair in the airport. I'm sitting on my suitcase.
But you're probably happier in the airport.
Yeah, because that's better than what I just saw.
It's closer to America.
Than that hotel.
Yeah, it's closer to America than that
and
hotel.
In fact, that hotel was so noisy, the Concorde was quieter than that hotel.
Wow.
I'm now sitting there. They keep delaying the plane because of weather.
You were noisy.
They keep delaying the... These people do not care. I could have yelled, screamed. They don't care.
Yeah, you can yell all you want.
She was on fire.
It's the Twilight Zone.
In fact, one guy informed me it was his duty to rip me off because I was American.
Right.
You know, because they would take me into an airport. I mean, they would pick me up from the airport and say, we need gas. And immediately go to a gas station.
Oh, I see, to get you to pay for the gas.
Then you have to pay for the gas. I say, what am I, buying this car?
Right.
And they go, you're American, big country, lots of money.
Yeah, great.
And so you give them a bunch of rupees. They drive right off, don't even bother to fake getting gas.
Can you imagine? I mean, this is a country that doesn't have a big tourism business, and is probably trying to develop anything as a business. And the first person just comes in and just starts fleecing you, like madly. You know, it's like, what a country. I got to take a break.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
The buildings, you can't tell whether they're going up or coming down. They are in such bad shape. Everything looks like it's being torn down. But then people go into these buildings.
So wait a second. Just help me out here, all right?
All right.
I know you can jumpstart your...
I was in at least 3 different hotels.
So when did you ever get on this plane to go meet your friends?
I never got on that plane.
You never got on it?
No.
So wait a second. So you were on the waiting list. They wouldn't let you on the plane.
They would not let me on the plane.
You went back to the hotel.
I got off my suitcase, then asked for a 5-star hotel because I said, I'm not going back to the 2-inch mattress hotel.
Right.
They took me to a 5-star hotel, supposedly, that looked just like the one I had been at before.
And wait a second.
I was so tired, I let them sign me into that place. And then I immediately started making calls to try to get myself out of that country.
All right, now, and then you...
But I couldn't call anybody in India.
Were you crying?
The phones don't work.
Were you crying?
Almost. I almost cried at the airport.
Right.
But then I said, nope.
Did you go through this? Like, I would have been like this. I get one freaking vacation.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking, and that's why I'm getting the hell out of India.
Right.
Because this is my one vacation.
And did you come back to New York?
I didn't even tell you about the lepers.
Oh, God. Let me take a break and then tell me.
Okay.
I know there are people waiting on the phone, too, and I'll get to you in a minute, but I got to hear about the lepers. I need to hear it. I just want to find out how long you were in India.
Oh.
I was going to bet money that she never got to that destination anyway. Yeah.
You're right.
It was
I tried to tell you before you left. You know I said, what are you going to India for?
Right, but wait a minute. When I finally get on the ground and I do get near a television and I hear about the people who've been held hostage in Peru...
Yeah.
I'm wondering who's having a worse time.
Yeah, I'd rather be
Me
held hostage.
or them. I was sure that they were having a better time.
Of course, weren't they in the Japanese embassy or something?
They were in the embassy. They were
That's
having
nice.
a party.
Yeah.
They could trust the water. You can't even trust
please.
the water.
They bathe in the water.
Almost 24 hours without drinking or eating anything.
They put their dead in the water.
I didn't know what to do.
You could have come back with a disease. I'm talking about a fatal disease.
Well, I had gone to get every shot on Earth, and I had malaria pills with me.
Right.
And then I was still, like, looking at the bottles of water going, that doesn't have a seal.
Yeah.
You know, and testing everything. And when I was in the airport, I wouldn't touch anything.
Right. Smart.
Howard, didn't you assume that you had a very specific destination? It was all
I
locked
did.
in and
Yeah, you did, but you couldn't get to it.
My plane broke, and everything broke down after that.
Oh.
That's fantastic. We got to take a break. I knew it was going to be horrible, and that affirms everything. That confirms everything that I thought.
I'm like the scout you send out. Do not go to India.
That confirms everything I think about travel and India.
You know, Mexico. What you think of Mexico?
Yeah, Mexico's a party. Right.
Wonderful, lovely place compared to this. Our homeless people would give these people money.
I told you the last place I'd go is India. I told you that.
It is just incredible. The people are very sweet while they're ripping you off.
Right.
You never get the impression that they're going to actually take your money if you don't give it to them.
They're little tiny skinny guys.
I know, and I figure I could take
them. You can kick their ass.
But, you know, like, they never give you the impression they're going to cut your throat or anything.
Do they wear diapers, the guys?
They wore any number, but it's all rags.
The rags and sandals and stuff?
It's all rags.
Are they like half nude, the guys, and they're really bad physiques?
Lots of them with the towel, you know, as you ride down the street, there's like 50 million people draped in blankets.
Yeah, that's great. That's so great.
Women, children.
That's why Gandhi was a great man. I mean, the fact that he could even get these people mobilized to do anything is a miracle. You know what I mean?
That's what I kept thinking. I was like, oh, my God, Gandhi got this whole group to do one thing.
And the whole country has no work ethic.
And people just scream at each other and argue with each other, you know, because when I got to the hotel, one cab driver was trying to rip me off again.
Right.
And then there's this dude finally I get to the Hilton.
Right.
And there's a dude standing there, and he's got all kinds of traditional Indian garb on with pointy shoes and a thing wrapped around his head and a dress.
Did the pointy shoes twirl around and go up?
Yeah, they had bells on them.
Right.
And then, you know, the handlebar mustache that twirls all over the place and gets wrapped around a roller. And so the cab driver's telling me, no, he needs more rupees from me. And the guy with all the...
They fleeced you. You were in the country for 24 hours and they fleeced you.
Yeah. They got every rupee they could get.
Wow.
The guy with the bells on his shoes starts screaming, no, you don't get any more than 200 rupees. And then the guy and he I thought they were going to get into a fist fight. But I was so tired, I just took my suitcase and walked into the hotel. I said, let them kill each other.
Right.
I don't care.
They're arguing over your rupees.
Oh, my God.
All right, I got to take a break. It's a horrible country. That case closed. We knew that beforehand. You got temporarily insane and planned a vacation there.
I have never seen a place like that in my life.
I would tell people you were going to India, their eyes would go like this. A what?
Howard, it looks like it was bombed.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to tell you. There's nothing luxurious about India.
It looked like it had been bombed.
Any place where you know that their people, anyone who's smart, is coming to this country in droves, you know it's a bad country.
I couldn't believe that everybody had left.
And you were so ripped off, you probably helped build an Indian university.
I hope so.
Yeah,
they could use it. I mean, really, it was like, I didn't even care. Just take the rupees, do something good with them, buy yourself they don't even have, you know how our homeless people sleep in cardboard boxes?
Yeah.
They don't have the cardboard box.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know how they act like they're all close to God and they're spiritual? We're closer to God.
They're close to God because they're sleeping on the ground.
Right.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, they're out in the open air.
They don't, I mean, they just come out of the woods, you know, because that's where they just flop anywhere.
Yeah, it's like Night of the Living Dead.
They're carrying their bed on their back.
All right, we got to take a break. Well, that's what I tried to tell you. All right, we're going to take a break. You should have ridden a cow.
Oh.
Lady Godiva.
Oh, I can't imagine if I'd done something to a cow, what would have happened.
Oh, that would have been great. All right, we're going to take a break, and then I want to find out other stuff about lepers and things. And I know there are people on the phone. If they hold on, I'll get to them as well, right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. Stay right there. 97.1 The Eagle.